Imagine if you could make a woman say yes in just 7 seconds, with questions so powerful that scientists have banned them in 49 countries. And she simply can't resist after that. Ever wondered why some guys seem to have this irresistible magnetism that captures a woman's interest in seconds, without even trying? In this video, we're revealing 5 secret questions that trigger instinctive responses based on deep psychological principles that turn ordinary conversations into moments of intense connection. These aren't cheap tricks. They're proven tools that tap into the subconscious, making her feel attracted and compelled to respond positively, like flipping a switch. But hold on, what makes the second question so devastating that it can melt emotional defenses in seconds? And the last one, the most forbidden of all, that guarantees an immediate, unforgettable response. Stay until the end to discover these secrets that only 1% of men know, and watch how they can completely transform your interactions. If you're ready to level up your game, smash that like button right now and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more revelations like this. 1. The question that awakens her hidden desire. Imagine whispering something that goes straight into her subconscious, making her feel exposed and attracted at the same time, like you can read her most intimate thoughts. The first question is, what's that one adventure you've always dreamed of living, but never told anyone about? Use it early in a casual conversation, looking her straight in the eyes with a subtle smile, instantly building a bridge of trust and mystery. She'll feel compelled to share, because it hits a vulnerability trigger most women keep locked away, like buried treasure. And the best part, in just 7 seconds, she'll say yes to keeping the conversation going, opening doors that seemed locked tight. Why does this work? It's rooted in attraction psychology. This question taps into the human need to connect through shared secrets, releasing endorphins that make her associate you with excitement and safety. Scientists have seen that when someone reveals something personal, her brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, making her more receptive and likely to agree with whatever comes next. It's not manipulation. It's a subtle dance of minds that ancient Stoics used to build unbreakable alliances. Use it on a date and watch her lean in, hungry for more. Remember, keep your tone calm and intriguing, like you're sharing a forbidden secret. Now, think about adapting it to different settings. At a crowded party, ask it lightly, but with a dramatic pause, after her answer to keep the mystery alive. If she hesitates, hit her with something like, "I get it. The best dreams are the ones we keep to ourselves. Until now." That ramps up the tension and makes her feel like you're the only one who can unlock her mysteries. Studies on human behavior show this technique boosts the chances of an immediate positive response by 70%. Practice in the mirror to perfect that piercing look that goes with the question. Finally, don't use it robotically. Make it personal by tying it to something you noticed about her, like a spark in her eyes that screams adventure. This stoic approach of self-control keeps you in command while she feels irresistibly drawn in. Over time, you'll notice women starting to seek you out, hypnotized by the aura of mystery you give off. But that's just the beginning. Imagine the power of the next question that goes beyond dreams and hits even deeper emotions. What if the second question could melt her emotional walls like ice in the sun, uncovering desires she didn't even know she had? Don't miss what's coming next, because this could be the secret that turns your lonely nights into unforgettable adventures. 2. The question that ignites her inner flame. Now that you've awakened her hidden desire, I step it up with something that sets her latent passion on fire, making her feel an irresistible heat that has her saying yes without a second thought. The second question is, what makes you feel truly alive, like the whole world is pulsing to your rhythm? Drop this after a shared laugh, with a low, confident voice, leaning in a little to create your own private bubble. She'll answer almost instantly, because it pokes right at the core of her emotions, turning small talk into an electric moment. In 7 seconds, watch her eyes light up, confirming you've touched something deep and untapped. This technique shines because it's built on subtle psychological influence. Human behavior responds to prompts that evoke vitality and empowerment, making her link you to feelings of freedom and excitement. Research shows questions like this activate the brain's reward system, kind of like an unexpected compliment, flooding her with dopamine that makes her more open and agreeable. Drawing from Stoicism, which teaches controlling others' emotions through your own calm. This positions you as the spark for her life force. Use it to steer the conversation into more personal territory while keeping that air of mystery only the initiated understand. Adapt it to the moment. In a quiet coffee shop, ask after noticing something vibrant about her, like an animated gesture, and watch her open up, maybe even touching your arm without thinking. That builds tension because the human brain craves connections that make us feel alive, and you become the source of that feeling. Don't rush. Pause after her answer and let the silence do the heavy lifting, ramping up her curiosity. With practice, this question becomes a foolproof tool for creating bonds that last way beyond one night. Bottom line, add this to your arsenal with stoic confidence, knowing she won't be able to resist the guy who makes her feel like the center of the universe. Women say interactions like this leave them hypnotized and craving more. But wait, the third question takes it to a forbidden level. Tapping into primal instincts scientists tried to ban. Imagine if the third question could unlock secrets so intense they changed the entire course of a night, leaving her completely surrendered to your influence. Pay attention, because what's coming is even more transformative and impossible to ignore. 3. The question that uncovers forbidden secrets. Now that you've ignited her inner flame, dive deeper into layers she even hides from herself, with a question that makes her confess unspeakable desires in seconds. The third question is, what's the secret you carry in your heart? The one that, if revealed, would change everything around you. Drop this during a lull in the conversation, with a serious tone and eyes locked on hers, creating an aura of confidentiality that disarms her instantly. She'll hesitate for a split second, but in 7 seconds, the words will spill out because it hits the core of the human psyche, where secrets create an irresistible mix of fear and relief. Use it to turn a normal interaction into a secret pact, with you as the keeper of her hidden truths. This approach is grounded in the psychology of confession. Human behavior craves release through sharing, triggering catharsis mechanisms the ancient Stoics used to forge eternal loyalties. Studies show that revealing a secret releases serotonin, creating an emotional dependency bond that makes her say yes to whatever you suggest next without resistance. It's not a cheap trick. It's a refined art of controlled empathy that makes you the inevitable confidant in a world full of surface-level bullshit. Use it precisely, maybe after sharing a personal story of your own, to balance the vulnerability and keep stoic control of the dynamic. Remember, silence after the question is your best friend. It amps up the tension until she gives in. Adapt to the setting. In an intimate bar, whisper it like the outside world doesn't exist, and watch her body relax, signaling surrender. This plays on the primal instinct for trust. Research says women respond 80% more positively to men who radiate discretion and inner strength. Don't push. If she pulls back, say something like, "Some secrets are like fine wine, better enjoyed when the time is right," keeping the mystery alive. With practice, this question becomes a master key to locked hearts, leaving her hypnotized by your ability to read souls. Add it to your repertoire with stoic calm, knowing every confession strengthens your hold. Master this, and watch her open up completely, craving your presence like an inescapable addiction. Women who've experienced this depth report an almost obsessive magnetic attraction. But what if the fourth question could crank it up to an erotic level? Awakening impulses, not even scientists dare map. Don't stop now. What's next could redefine everything you know about desire. 4. The question that ignites raw desire. With her secrets out, step into forbidden territory, lighting a fire that burns away inhibitions and has her begging for more. With a question that awakens ancestral instincts in the blink of an eye. The fourth question is, what's the fantasy that makes you lose control? The one you only live out in your private thoughts. Slide this in when the air is thick with tension, with a husky voice and a light touch on her arm, creating a spark that electrifies her instantly. She'll blush, but in 7 seconds, she'll confess pieces of it because it pokes the erotic subconscious, where repressed desires scream to be set free. Use it to crank the interaction up to raw, visceral intimacy, positioning yourself as the trigger for her hidden passions. Rooted in libido psychology, This technique exploits how human behavior responds to sensory cues, releasing endorphins that tie you to pure pleasure, similar to the Stoic tactics of mastering others' impulses. Neuroscience research shows talking about fantasies lights up the nucleus accumbens, the brain's reward center, making her way more likely to say yes to physical advances. This isn't crude. It's a sophisticated dance of minds and bodies where Stoic self-control lets you lead effortlessly. Use it after a veiled compliment about her sensuality to smooth the transition and maximize impact. Keep the tone inviting, like you're offering entry to a world that's just yours and hers. Adapt to the scene. At a candlelit dinner, ask with a wicked smile, and notice her pupils dilate. Classic sign of inevitable arousal. This taps into women's craving for authentic connection, with studies showing a 90% jump in receptiveness after this kind of revelation. Don't rush. Pause so the awkwardness turns into excitement. Building a bridge to bolder touches. With repetition, this question becomes a secret weapon that leaves her addicted to the rush you provide. Incorporate it with Stoic wisdom, turning desires into unbreakable bonds. Perfect this, and watch her surrender completely, turning nights into unforgettable ecstasy. Guys who use this say, women come back like moths to a flame. But what if the fifth question could seal the deal forever, tapping into something that goes beyond the physical and touches the eternal? Stay tuned. The climax you're about to see is unmissable. 5. The question that seals the eternal bond. With the flames of desire roaring and secrets laid bare, finish the journey with a question that goes beyond the temporary, anchoring her in an unbreakable bond that echoes forever, turning a simple conversation into a silent soul vow. The fifth question is, if you could choose one person to share the rest of your life with, describe what would make that connection unbreakable. Hit her with this, at the peak of intimacy, with a calm voice and a gaze that pierces her soul, opening a portal to future visions that capture her instantly. She'll pause, but in 7 seconds, she'll paint ideal scenarios, because it awakens the primal need for belonging, positioning you as the architect of her deepest dreams. Use it to turn fleeting attraction into deep loyalty, emerging as the Stoic pillar of her personal story. This technique is rooted in attachment psychology. Human behavior seeks emotional stability, activating neural circuits the Stoics cultivated to forge unbreakable alliances against adversity. Relationship studies show visualizing shared futures releases oxytocin, the trust hormone, boosting long-term commitment odds by 70%. It's not cheap manipulation. It's Stoic mastery of shared vision, where self-control lets you guide without forcing, making her a co-author in an irresistible story. Drop it after some mutual reflection on aspirations, so it flows naturally, reinforcing the sense of inevitable fate. Keep the posture of a Stoic sage, letting the silence after the question weave the threads of the bond. Adapt to the moment on a nighttime walk under the stars. Ask it thoughtfully and watch her body lean into yours, signaling deep emotional surrender. This capitalizes on women's desire for depth. Research shows they respond with way more intensity to men who evoke visions of eternity, skyrocketing lasting connection rates. Don't let her ramble. If needed, gently steer with "and how would I fit into that vision?" to keep the focus on you as the centerpiece. Master this, and the question becomes the final seal, leaving her anchored in an attraction that outlasts time and temptation. Practice with Stoic discipline, turning interactions into legacies of lasting influence. Refine this and experience her committing body and soul, making you indispensable in her emotional universe. Men who master this art report relationships that beat divorce stats, with partners devoted like disciples to a master. Now that you have the 5 questions that conquer in 7 seconds, imagine the power this unlocks in your life. A Stoic tool for shaping destinies and hearts. If you made it this far, stop for a second and think. Which of these questions hit you the hardest? Or how would you adapt them to your own reality? Drop a comment below, share your thoughts freely and openly. Who knows, your take might inspire the next video. And if this content added value to your journey, hit that like button to support and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next game-changing drops that will take your skills to unheard of levels.